Hello 12 Commerce students and welcome back. This is another important class of staffing chapter of business studies, and today the topic of discussion is placement and orientation. Placement and orientation is the first topic of discussion of today's class. So today's class we will focus on this topic first, and the second part we will discuss some other topic. So first, starting with placement and orientation. In my previous class, I have explained the procedure to be followed for selecting a candidate. Now, selection and placement comes one after the other. Now, what is placement? A candidate needs to be placed in a job properly. After proper selection, he needs to be placed properly. A successful candidate has to be appointment first, and then the candidate is placed in the organization properly. So placement of a candidate is a very vital in the this procedure of selection. Wrong placement of a candidate will result in lower productivity, insecurity, maladjustment in the organization, whereas proper placement will increase the productivity, increase the effectiveness, efficiency and skill enhancement of the candidate is also possible if the placement is proper. Now, if an unsuitable candidate is made permanent in an organization, then the organization has to suffer in long run. That's why a probation period is given. Probation period is a short-term period which is given to every candidate who is selected. In this probation period, say for 3 months or for 6 months or for a year, a candidate is selected to see the movement of the candidate, to monitor the movement of the candidate, how he places himself, how he contributes to the effectiveness of the organization, contributes to the productivity of the organization. These things are to be monitored through this placement process. So, an unsuccessful candidate cannot continue in long run. That's why this probation period is kept for monitoring the movement of any candidate. If he is unsuccessful, he cannot overcome the hurdle and he will be screened out, whereas he will be eliminated, whereas another candidate gets the chance to be selected and placed. That's why probation period is kept. Now, scientific placement demands that first placement may be tentatively to be followed by final placement after testing the candidate's qualifications and other capabilities. Now, right person must be placed in a right kind of job, that is required. Right positioning of the candidate is required for effective utilization of every resources. After selection, a candidate is generally placed in a job for this probation period. Now, a candidate may be regularized in the service after he able to satisfy the organization. If he is able to satisfy the organization in the probation period, then only he is kept for the long run and made permanent. But suddenly at first, in the initial stage, he is not made permanent because there are certain hurdles. His movement is monitored. If he is not capable of getting fit into the job, he will be wiped out. So that's why he is monitored in the probation period. This is the placement. Now, a candidate needs to be placed in the job. Proper placement of a candidate reduces absenteeism, labor turnover, accident rates, improves the productivity, and also improves the morale of the employees. This is about placement and orientation. Now coming to the second part, that is staff training. Staff training. Now staff training is next step after placement. After a candidate gets placed, after he is selected finally and placed properly, the probation period is over. Now the staff is ready to be trained. Now what is this training? It is an act of improving. It is an act of upgrading upgrading the knowledge and the skill of the employee. Now, in a particular job, there are various stages. A candidate may not know the hurdles, the stages which comes further in the job. Now, to overcome those stages, he needs to update himself, he needs to uplift himself. So, this training is necessary. It is the organized procedure by which the employees learn knowledge and skill for a definite purpose. It aims at increasing the ability, increasing the skill, increasing the efficiency of any employee. Now, it is a systematic procedure for transferring technical knowledge to the employee. So, it is a systematic, we can call it a systematic process or a procedure to. It is a systematic procedure to help the employee to learn the technical know-how. Now, this is most important for an organization. This is most important for upgradation of the employee himself and also increasing the productivity of the organization. So, the organization themselves take the responsibility of uplifting the employees and providing them proper training. Training is most essential in every stage of a job. Now, training is the creation of an environment where the employees acquire job related knowledge, skills, abilities and attitude. More and more knowledge uplift them, more and more knowledge upgrade them, which is required to make his position stable, to increase his abilities, to increase his knowledge about that job. Now, training can convert raw human resources into developed human resources. Development is the essence of training. Through training, one candidate is developed knowledge wise. Training improves the performance at every level. Training is a specialized function, we can call it a specialized function, where human resource management takes necessary steps to raise the skills and the abilities of an employee, which is very important for an organization. It is the act of increasing the knowledge. It is the process by which the aptitudes, the skills, the abilities, all the things are increased, are enhanced to enhance the performance for a specific job. So, this training is the next step of selection, after selection process. Now, this training since training is a systematic and a continuous process, I must say that training is a continuous process because it is it goes on in a never-ending for a never-ending period. It is a learning experience which develops the manpower in an organization, which develops the conditions of the manpower in an organization. Now, training are of different types. There are different types of training: on the job training, off the job training. The types of training I will explain to you in another class. And there are some importance and benefits of this training. If the employees are trained, it is beneficial, it proves to be beneficial for every organization. So there are some beneficial aspects, there are some advantages of this training. So in my next class, I am going to explain the benefits of this training and also the different types of training which are important for an employee to get. So today, up till this, in my next class, I will come up with the benefits of training. Till then, goodbye.